struggled. There were some things we couldn't afford. There were some things we didn't have the opportunities to do or see or go. All of those things, the circumstances I could use as excuses. But what I chose to do is use that as my motivation to say, hey, man, we're not doing that anymore. Like none of that stuff. I'm not saying, oh, poor me. No, why not me?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hearne on the Map with Michael Deshawn. I'm so excited to have each of you here today. I'm so fortunate to introduce this next, I can't call him a young man. He's a young man.
I'll take that.
Yes. He is an inspirational public speaker. He is an author. He's a life coach. He was a coach for 20 years. He's a fourth generation educator. He's a West Texas A&M University graduate. He's a Hearne High School 93 graduate, and he's a husband and a father. And without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Chip Baker.
Let's go.
Let's go. So Chip, I'm so grateful to have you here today because I feel like you are someone who has really inspired me to get to a point where I want to share inspiring conversations with people. So I want to say thank you first and foremost.
Yeah, thank you, my man. I'm so excited for you and happy and proud of you, all the things that you're doing and achieving in your life. I think it's truly awesome to see. And I just want to give you some encouragement to just keep doing your thing. And as you know, whatever I can do to help you, I'm here. You got me.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Listen, y'all, he already dropping some encouragement and inspiration. The conversation just getting started.
Let's go, man.
So the first question that I have for you is, what is your Hearne background?
Just like you said, I'm a fourth generation educator. Truly grateful for that. I start with that first because, that service, my family are ones that always gave service. And then, as you know, we were church folk and educators. So folk with no S, meaning that we were in church all the time, right? And so it was great growing up in that community. Lots of amazing people to learn from, lots of amazing people to watch and see who I wanted to emulate myself like and be like. And so I just think that the experience growing up there in Hearne, it was amazing for me. And I'm truly grateful for it and the people there as well.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love when people get to reflecting on Hearne and how our upbringings have created such a beautiful experience and that we can always keep and carry on with us. So I guess my next question for you, from growing up in Hearne and graduating into going to college and getting to where you are now, what was that journey like?
It was different is the word that comes up. I think for me, and this is just like anyone, I think regardless of, I know we're Hearne on the Map, but I think regardless of where you're from, you have to put yourself in situations where you can get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And what I'm saying is we all have to get out of our box sometime. We all have to get out of our comfort zone, because on the other side of that uncomfort or discomfort is maximum growth in our life. And so, yes, it was great growing up in my hometown of Hearne, man, amazing. And I learned so many things about life, and I learned so many things about myself, and those core common values, principles that I learned there, I was able to take those on throughout life. And so when I went to college, it's different. I'm 9.5, 10 hours away from home. This is not like home. I know no one here. This is new. And so, but I had an opportunity to get my education and to play football. And so, I wasn't going to miss the opportunity because of my fear. Right. And so then that allowed me to just hang on to my core common principles, what I was taught growing up. And it allowed me to get my degree. It allowed me to meet some great people. And then the next thing, I started my career. I moved to Conroe to Conroe Independent School District. And it was the same cycle all over again. Get out your comfort zone, get around some people. I don't know anyone here. This is an uncomfortable thing for me, But again, I got to go back to my core common principles that I've learned. And it's always been like that in my life, to achieve anything that's worth having, that's worth being successful. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And what that does is that gets you on a cycle of achieving so many great things that you'll be truly proud of, because you stuck to your core common principles. And that's what it's been for me.
Wow. I just love, that's one beautiful thing that I appreciate that you said, like getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I think that's so true for me in my life, graduating and going to college and living in different places is like, every time you go somewhere else, it's going to shake you up, and you have to like, what are you going to lean on? And you brought up like leaning on those core principles. That's what you said, right?
Yeah. Core common principles. I just believe in working hard. I believe in doing things the right way. I believe in treating people the right way. I believe in showing respect. I believe in going and getting it. I believe in making it happen. And so in all of those things, I just stuck to that. And that's the simple formula that I've done my entire life, and those are the things, again, I'll go back. Those are the things that I was taught in my house. Those are the things that I was taught in my community in Hearne. The great people that I was around, my little league baseball coaches and, coaches in school and teachers, those are the things that I was taught and shown. And it's truly helped me be successful in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how you just have so much respect and gratitude for your upbringing and all of those things that were instilled in you.
I'm telling you, like I'm nothing without any of that. Like I reflect on that a lot, because, and I'll just tell you this, I'll share this with you. Any desk that I've had in my career, I keep a picture of the house that I grew up in. On my desk. And there's a reason for that. The reason I do that is two purposes, to remind me to always remain grateful for what I do have, because it could be worse, but then the other purpose of that is to remind me to keep working my tail off, to achieve great things. And so I'm super proud of that. It keeps me humble and hungry. It allows me to like look at it and just smile. Just those great memories from that house, like you said, the things that I've learned from my upbringing. But then also in that house, I also learned that really there's nothing that can hold me back but me. So go make it happen, man.
Yeah. That brings me to I see "Go Get It" on your shirt there. So I want to ask you, what do you do now, and what does "Go Get It" have to do with anything?
Currently, I just started my 23rd year in education. I coached for 20 years. This is my third year to be out of coaching. And so, now with my YouTube channel, I started my YouTube channel and podcast, Chip Baker, the Success Chronicles. I started that about 5 years ago. And basically what I do is I just interview people from all walks of life and share their stories for positive inspiration and motivation along that journey. I've been able to interview and meet and connect with people that I never ever thought I would be talking to. Those kind of things it continues to blow me away. Become a multiple-time best-selling author along that journey. And so just like all things uncomfortable, right? Like we talked about, all things that are uncomfortable, but now, I continue to push myself and say, hey, what you gonna do now, Chip? And so just continuing to push myself to strive to be the best version of myself, because I know in that pushing myself, it allows me to be not just the best version of myself for me, but it allows me to be the best version of myself so that I can be the best version of myself for others. And that's what it's about for me. And so currently I'm at Oak Ridge High School. I'm the campus climate and culture coach there. And man, it's truly been a blessing to have that job, that title, that opportunity to do that, to just make a positive difference on our campus.
Wow. What is that role like? The campus climate coach, you said?
Yeah, climate and culture coach. And so basically I do all things helping teachers, all things helping kids, all things bridging the community with the school, leadership groups, speaking, positive inspiration and motivation. And so it's cool to have people that believe in you to say, hey, Chip Baker, do your thing.
Wow.
You know,
it's like you walking all up in your purpose right now.
All up in
your purpose. Getting like that's beautiful. I did not know that's what you were doing. That's I love that. How is it for you connecting with so many different people? And because I know some people are afraid to like connect with different people. And how is it connecting with different people, and what does it do for you?
Oh, connections are everything. And I'll share this quote with you with one of my former pastors, Pastor Danny Green, in College Station there. He says, our life moves at the speed of our relationships. And when you think about it, you know, those people that are doing amazing things, they have great relationships, great people in their life that can help guide them and lead them. You know, those people that are not doing so well, they probably need better relationships in their life. And so I can say that I've truly been blessed to have amazing relationships in my life, and people, you know, people around me that I can continue to learn and grow from. And so just, you know, making connections. I don't know. Let me go back. I think, and people that's listening and watching this need to also know that if you can just take one step in the direction of your purpose or your passion, the big man will see fit to have everything else come together. And what I mean by that is I'm prime example of that. And when I started the YouTube channel and podcast, I just wanted to give back and show appreciation from where I'm from, the people that's been around me, that's truly helped me. Little did I know that I would meet so many people, meet people that like I listen to their music, or I read their books, or I watch them as an actor or actress on TV. You know, like little old me from Hearne, Texas. You know, like it continues to blow me away with connect. I mean, like one of my favorite authors, like I have his cell number. You know, like it's stupid, like it's crazy. Like my text, like my favorite author, right? And so like it's wild. But if you can just, you know, take one step in the right direction to fulfill your purpose and passion, a big man will see fit. And along the way, he'll put you in a position to come across some amazing people to help you be the best version of yourself so that you can help so many.
Oof, you dropped so much in that. Man, I just love how you are thinking, even as you're sharing, you're putting others in mind right now. You're seeing them and what can they do to take that step forward and to do get to a place where they're walking within their purpose, just as you are. There's one question that came to mind as you were talking about relationships, and I'm thinking about for people who may not actually come from an environment where quality relationships are maintained, and whether those steps or characteristics that you have to maintain quality, authentic relationships. Because sometimes I think that's easier said than done. What does it take to maintain those quality relationships?
I think one, first of all, is you got to get over yourself, you know, and know that, and almost, this is not like probably correct. Like I know I got a couple degrees, and I know like I can say like, but I'm gonna put it to you. Yeah, I'm gonna put it to you straight. It ain't about you. You know, like, no, it's not about you. No, man, hey, it ain't about you.
Yeah.
Right? And I think when we understand that and we really wholeheartedly feel that, then that will allow us to govern our actions, right? And so all of the decisions that we make, all of the choices that we make, the actions that we take from that will be operating in a manner to which you're thinking of others before you. Because if you're just thinking of yourself, when it gets tough, when things start going rough, you'll quit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But if it's about somebody else, you can't quit because you got people depending on you. And that's what it's about. And so what we have to do is, you know, my mom growing up, she used to say, boy, stay on the right path. You know, she put the boy in front of this for real, right? You know, you say, boy, stay on the right path. And what I realized that what the path meant was put yourself around the right people, have a great attitude, value your time, right? And then help others. And so if you realize what I just gave to you, it's the words start with PATH, people, attitude, time, help. So what we had to do is, boy, stay on the right path.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Wow. Is what you just dropped, that PATH acronym, is that in one of the, because I know you're an author, is that one of the books that you wrote? Which,
yes. Yeah.
let us know which one.
You might be able to find that in my new book. The Impact of Influence, volume 2. You may be able to find that in there about PATH.
Okay. I just got my copy on Amazon, but I have not gotten a chance to dig deep into it. But it's super inspiring to see someone who is literally bringing people together and sharing inspirational information that I know is making a huge impact on the readers all around the world.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What did it take to do that, to get a book and share it out? And you have multiple books.
Yeah. To answer your question, a lot. No, no. That's another thing, man. Like I've been, just like when I said about just taking the one step, like I really meant that. Like the book is another prime example. Like I said, when I started the YouTube channel and podcast, I was just wanting to highlight others, right? And I came in contact with a guy, and we hit it off, Dr. Oliver T. Reed. He's a minister, philanthropist, a great man in the DC area, Washington, DC. And he has a buddy, like they go around and teach people how to write, and his buddy owns a publishing company. And so when I interviewed him, we hit it off. We did like 4 topic sessions, like 4 weeks in a row. I mean, we just had a good old time. And so he's like, man, this is some good stuff. We need to put this in a book, right? And so then that's when we decided to do a 4-book series. And that was my very first book he and I wrote together. And so from then, now I'm on book 7, like the Impact of Influence, volume 2 is book 7.
Wow.
And so like it I don't know, it's just crazy, just like anything, I didn't know any authors growing up, and so just like we talked about earlier, I was able to put myself around some people to teach me some of those things. And so just continuing to learn and grow. And it's gotten me here, and again, truly grateful for it.
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. I love how you're taking it back to those steps, taking that one step, and that one step can lead you to so many other opportunities and connections with so many people. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to ask you my final question before I move to the next section.
Okay.
What is one obstacle or a series of obstacles that you faced during your trajectory to where you are now, and how did you overcome it?
That is a really good question. Obstacle or obstacles. I think just like anything, we can look at our circumstances and focus in on our circumstances and make our circumstances become our obstacles, right? And so what we have to do, and I'll share this with you, when you said that these 3 words came up for me: circumstances, process, greatness. Circumstances, process, greatness. So if we're caught up in our circumstances, we won't have the right mindset to go through the process to achieve the greatness that we want to achieve, right? But if we go back to our circumstances and turn our struggle into our strength, right? And then now that will allow us to have the right mindset when we focus in on that process. And then our greatness, you will have a greatness in abundance.
Yeah.
Right. And so, to hone in on what you asked, I mean, I could have used all of my circumstances. I was raised in a small town. I grew up with a single parent mom. You know, we struggled. You know, there were some things we couldn't afford. You know, there were some things we didn't have the opportunities to do or see or go. You know, all of those things, the circumstances I could use as excuses. But what I chose to do is use that as my motivation to say, hey, man, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Like none of that stuff. I'm not saying, oh, poor me. No, why not me? You know? And so it allowed me to just have a passion to just take care of my mama. You know, it allowed me to have a passion to just show the kids in my hometown that, hey, man, like you can do this too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it allowed me to work hard to just bring opportunities to my hometown where kids can see, like I couldn't afford to have to go to a football camp, A&M football. No, bro, I couldn't afford that. Hey, well, guess what, kids? I'm gonna bring the people to you in your town. We're gonna have a camp here, right?
Yes.
And that's what the Hearne Connection Football Camp.
Yes.
And so like those kind of things, yes, there were obstacles, but I chose to look at the obstacles and use them, turn my struggle into my strength. And that's what it's been for me.
Wow.
No excuses.
No excuses.
None.
That's like fuel. You use those, your wounds, the things that hurt you, you turn into what empowers you and keeps you going. I love that.
And it's a simple, you have to find out the why. You know, what's your why? Like, why are you doing what you do?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that helps you as well. That helps fuel you as well.
What is your why? What is your why? All right. So the next section that we're moving to is the Fast Five. So the first question is, what's the best piece of advice that you received from someone?
From my mother, and that advice is, you can do it. Yes, you can. And what that is, you know, there was always times where, you know, I may have felt inadequate, or I was put in situations to where I had to step up, right? And my mother was just always reminding me, hey, you can do it. Yes, you can. And so we have to remember that, you know, in those uncomfortable situations, that the big man made you perfect in his liking. And so you don't have to search for anything else. You have enough. You are enough already. You just need to be reminded of that. And so you can do it. Yes, you can.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
I love that. Yeah. What's number two? What is the worst piece of advice that you received?
The worst piece of advice I've received probably has been someone that's not open-minded. You know, and so like they see situations to where not giving others, not believing that others are capable of achieving higher than, you know, and putting limits on others. And I heard this quote too, you can't love anyone above the limits that you put on them. Yeah. So think about that. So like if I said, well, oh, like Chip, like he just, you know, he, like his people haven't done that. You know, Chip, he hadn't been around an authors, you know, like he just, okay. So my view of Chip now is, oh, he can only do this certain amount of things. Right. But if I have an open mindset and an open heart, right, to look at him, oh man, well, like Chip, he may not be good at this, but man, he sure is great at that. You know, man, I think he's capable of doing this. And so I think that's kind of, it doesn't take much from me. I'm really, you know, laid back, easygoing guy. But I think, you know, kind of one of my pet peeves is people that limit others and, you know, look down on others. And I don't think that that's really good. And so that's kind of been some of the worst advice that I've ever received.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. That reminds me of people who have a scarce, a mindset of scarcity versus a growth mindset.
Exactly.
And if you have a growth mindset, a fixed, thank you for correcting me, a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. So I think, you know, surrounding yourself by people who have that mindset can, like you said, open up those connections and relationships and bring you to even more great opportunities.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Number 3, who is one speaker that you have the most respect for?
I love Eric Thomas. I love, man, let me cheat on it. Let me do 3. Is that all right?
Okay. I saw you just post a picture of, that's E.T., right?
Yeah.
Hip hop preacher.
The hip hop preacher. Yeah. I had an opportunity to meet him about 6 years ago. So that was a throwback Thursday that I posted. But yeah, E.T., Inky Johnson, and John Gordon. Those are the 3 that are. Love those guys, man. Love the positive inspiration. Love learning from them. And so it's been great to watch them and see how they do their thing.
So E.T., Inky Johnson, and the last guy was
John Gordon.
I haven't heard of John Gordon.
Yeah, he's the energy bus guy. He's the power of positive leadership.
Okay.
Man, one of my favorite authors.
Okay. Number 4, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book. Man, that's tough.
Well, what book are you reading right now?
I'll go. Like you list your books. So like the Bible, then like any of the Tony Dungy books, Coach Tony Dungy books.
Okay.
Love his stuff. Then the John Gordon books. The Energy Bus is really good. And then of course, like anything John Maxwell, is awesome as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And he has one book, and I'm gonna butcher the name of it, but it's like the 15 qualities of a great leader, I think is what it is. But it's a green cover, and that book is golden.
Okay.
Like, I mean, it's the blueprint. Like, it's amazing. Okay. And it's by John Maxwell.
John Maxwell, the 15 qualities of a great leader.
Yeah, I think it's something, the 15 qualities of somebody. I can't remember what the ending of it, because it's been like over a year that I read it, but it's full of highlights and underlines on that thing.
Okay. And then my last question of the Fast 5 is, what do you like most about your Hearne roots?
Man, I smile first when you ask that, but then it gave me chills when I reflected on my answer, and it gave me that because there was so much love in my hometown. I love Hearne, man. I love the people in Hearne. I'm truly grateful that I was raised there. Truly grateful for the people from my church growing up, and your family is a part of that.
Yeah.
Truly grateful for the experience that I had there, in the community and the sports. I'm just grateful for all of the folks there, man, and just the love. It was such a good place. Like, man, I had a great time growing up in Hearne. People from all walks of life, all races, all everything, and it was great to learn. And I think it really prepared me to be successful in my life, because that's what I've seen in life, and that's what I've tried to put out in life. And like I talked about early in the interview, to sticking to those core common principles, what I learned there, it's helped me be successful in my life to this day.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. The love from the people in your community.
Man, It was great.
That's good. So before we close, I want to ask you to give a shout out to one person from Hearne that you think is putting Hearne on the map.
I think my mother has passed, but I think the shout out for me, that's where it all starts for me. And so, I'm gonna just shout out my mother.
Yes.
I just remember.
Can you say her name for us?
Yeah, my mom, Wanda Baker.
Yes,
Jackson.
Ms. Baker.
Yeah, so, man, love that lady. I wanted to grow up and be just like her. And I hope that in what I'm doing, I'm making her proud,
Yeah.
And so I just remember being in the community and kids, she, like I said, fourth generation educator, she did so many things in the city to give service and give of herself. And that's where I learned from. And so I would, we would be there and people would see her and she wouldn't even see them and they would just smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like that, just being able to grow up around that, man, it showed me so much. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that shout out goes to my mom all day, my superhero.
Yes. I love that. She was a huge influence on my life as well. I remember being a little kid and then going to her house and she would play for me to sing at a wedding or sing at an event or something. And even as an adult, when I came back from Italy, she was like, well, man, how you been doing? You need to, go to the library downtown to tell people your story, tell people what you've been up to. So she was always, always encouraging me to share what I've done. So I'm really grateful for her as well. So, well, Chip, before we close off, I want to tell you, thank you so much for everything that you shared and everything that you continue to do in this world, not only for the people of Hearne, but everyone in general. And how can people continue to follow you, follow your work, learn more about you?
All of my social media is at Chip Baker, TSC, as in the Success Chronicles. And all of my social media is that, except for Twitter. And Twitter is at Chip Baker 19. And I'm on all of the social medias. So, I don't want to be any excuse for you not to get this positive inspiration and motivation, right? Yes. So whatever your social media of choice is, it's out there. And one thing that I'd like to just ask, the normal thing, people like, follow, subscribe, comment, all of that stuff. But for me, I just ask that if you see something on there that you really like and someone that you love comes to mind or heart for you, I just ask that you would just share it with them to help make their world better. And so, again, my man, I just want to say thanks so much for the opportunity to be on your platform, rooting for you. I think it's awesome what you're doing, Hearne on the Map. Makes me proud, man, to know that it's great guys like yourself, representing Hearne the right way and doing things in an amazing way. And so, man, like I said earlier, and like I tell you all the time, if there's anything I can ever do for you, you got me. Yeah. And I appreciate that so much. This has been a beautiful conversation, Chip. Yes, sir. And we just want to thank you for continuing to put Hearne on the map. Go get it. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching Hearne on the Map with Jermichael Deshawn. If you could do me a huge favor, please like, comment, subscribe, or share it on your favorite social media platform. Hearne on the Map.